Hi, welcome to The Pursuit of Truth. It is the 17th of July 2018. 2 points I wanted to discuss, things I've been thinking about. The first one is allegiance. The way that we have all these allegiances to things. And two of them are two main ones that humans have. Well, there's actually three, really. But the third one isn't. People don't really hold on to that one too much. But so the first one is obviously, well, actually the order doesn't really matter. You know, people put them in different orders themselves. But I'm just going to do it in the order that is how I thought about it. So the first order, the first allegiance is the country that you're born into. Patriotism. Can't even say the word. Patriotism. You know, the love of your country. Your country does everything right, and every other country doesn't. You fight for your country. You fight against other countries for your country. That mentality. Your country invented everything. The second allegiance is religion, and the third allegiance is work. I mean, there may be other ones as well. I mean, especially because it's called marriage and allegiance as well. But yeah, I'm just talking about. I'm actually only talking about the first two, because they're the two that tend to stay through life. Because, you know, other things change. Although even the second one, religion, can change as well. But the country you're born in, you tend to be you tend to be patriotic to that country, even if you move out of that country. You still consider yourself, and your passport still considers you that country. So, and the problem is with having allegiances, is it creates barriers, and that's partly the reason for them. Why are we English? Why are we American? Why are we Chinese? Why are we African? Why are we Somalian? You know, why are all these different things? It's to segregate us. In the past, it was, you know, because we didn't see each other, and we would go to battle with each other. But now, you know, through social media, through the internet, through satellites, we are becoming one. We now can communicate with each other. We know each other more than we've ever done. And then hopefully we're realising that we do have these unnecessary barriers, but the problem is to take them down is very difficult, because we have this we're patriotic to these systems, and it's difficult to remove them, but they're in our way in a sense, because it stops us from actually seeing that we're all one. You know, that is the reason why, you know, we don't solve things, why we don't cure things, why we make so many pointless things like I've mentioned previously, because we see ourselves as one. We are English, we are American, we are Chinese, we are Russian, but we're not. We are human. I know that's a term that we made up, but if we just go by that we are all the same, isn't it? No matter our skin colour, no matter our ethnicity, no matter where we come from, no matter where we're born, we're all the same species. We're all humans. But we don't see that because we've been blinded by the country that we're born into. And they don't, we swear allegiance to them, but they don't offer us anything. They just want to keep us. You know, like that video that Sheeps and Neep showed, Oh Sheep, where it's keeping us in a pen, and they don't want us to integrate with each other. They don't want us to understand that we're actually exactly the same, because if they did, then we would work together. Would we go and fight each other? Because at the moment, like the wars that have taken place, well, they're wars against humans versus humans. How stupid is that? It's a bit like in that Oh Sheep video. That's why that video is so good. It's on YouTube. It shows the two sheep, they fight each other just when they look different. When they shave them differently, then they kill each other. But they're actually the same thing. How stupid is it that we've gone around through thousands of years, despite being, you know, evolved and civilized, and we're fighting each other. But we disguise that by pretending that we're not fighting each other because you're different than me, because you're British, I'm American, you're Chinese, you're Russian. And we still do it to this day. It's another one of those, it's probably the main lie in plain sight. And the second one is religion, which I'm puzzling around, like this idea that I was saying before, that everything is a man-made concept, that we call a tree, it didn't come like IKEA with a tag on it. We've called it this in different countries, have different names for different things, but we all recognise and we translate them all into the same thing. We have an understanding that it is that, even though they've got different names. That proves the point that it is man-made, because if you go to a different country, you will get different names. They're not of the same derivation. They're completely different words for the same thing. And then I was thinking about, well, wait a minute, so what about religion? Is that man-made, or is it God-inspired? Because it could be another control thing, another allegiance, another way to separate us. My argument's always been, well, there's so much good in these books if we actually did follow them, despite there being, 7 billion people on this planet, and 5 to 6 billion of them claim to be, according to their statistics, but no one's ever asked me what I am. But yeah, they make out that more of us are religious than not. Yet we live in this shithole. But the books are contained with so many teachings of, if we actually followed those teachings, we would live in a better way. We wouldn't be this segregated, selfless species that we've turned into. So that's my understanding of it, but I don't know, I can't prove it, because I know that a lot of things are lies. I've just told you about this country idea, that is a lie. We're all one species. Why are we divided? Because that's the way we chose, like a game of Monopoly. It's the rules of the board game that we play, called life. So, I don't know, but then I was thinking about, well, wait a minute, so why are we different than every other species that are on this planet? Why are we different than dogs, cows, cats? We have this capacity to communicate. We pass down our knowledge to each other. We've built houses. We've done different. We've become different. So, is that accident? Is it possible that we just stumbled upon all this and we evolved ourselves into this way? Just because we, according to 2001, picked up a twig and hit another one with it. I suppose that's where you can say that, well, maybe God does exist, because there had to be something to change us, in the sense that He talked to us and evolved us and gave us language and gave us this capacity to communicate and do all these things. So I'm split between, that is the possibility. The fact that the books do contain so many good teachings that if we followed them, but maybe I'm cherry picking or being confirmation bias over that, but I think I do believe in God, because I know I've asked the things have happened, and you can say it's coincidence. I don't know. It's difficult to be able to prove it, because no one can prove God. No one can, until you die, and then you'll know, and then you can't pass it on to anyone else. And I know it's faith, but I suppose then you've got to understand that everything that we're on either is accident or it is God-inspired. If it is God-inspired, then the books are probably true. If it is an accident, then maybe the books aren't true. And it's just a way of keeping us segregated, but I guess there's no way I can prove that, because I can't time travel. And there's no way I can define whether this life is an accident or not. The problem is there's a lot of things that have had to happen, coincidences that would have had to happen for our lives to be this way, to actually be living, well, I suppose that depends whether the science that we've been taught is actually factually true or not. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it is easy to have life. The thing is, if we are on a flat earth, in a globe, or whatever we are, if this is all that there is, and there is no anything else, then does that mean there is a creator? Because what's the chance of us just being us and nothing else? But even if there is loads of things out there, the chances of us, because there's so much dead space out there, how is it that we're in exactly the Goldilocks position and all that kind of stuff? So I think there's more that points towards God than not. But whether what's written down, what's been passed down to us, whether that's accurate, well, that's another matter. Anyway, those are the thoughts I was thinking about. Yeah, leave your comments. Tell me what you think. Take care, take it easy, God bless, and peace.